I've had this car for over 6 years now. It is a 2013 Mustang GT. It's got its quirks, it's got its features, but knowing all that I know about it, would I still buy one today? Let's go for a quick coffee run and talk about it. To start this video off, I should probably address the elephant in the room, which is where the heck have I been? I haven't posted much on YouTube, and I wanted to make a video like this because it very much reminds me of back in the day as I would drive to Sacramento State to finish out my degree, taking you guys along with me, throwing the GoPro on my head. This time I've just upgraded and I have a 360 camera giving you guys like the Forza effect, while also upgrading the in-cabin footage with the full-size camera. There have been some pretty major changes in my life that you guys have probably gotten glimpses of just by following along on Instagram, so follow there if you're not already for a little behind the scenes and stuff. But I got engaged back in October. That happened whenever my fiance and I went to our first ever European trip. We went to Italy. Just had to give us some beans, look around, make sure there's no blue and red. But yeah, that was a major change that, I mean, nothing really changed. I've been with her for so long, but it's a big change in my life and where I've been focusing. So really focusing on that relationship. Also, as you guys know, as I mentioned, I went to Sacramento State, got my degree, graduated years and years ago, but have really been focused on building my career. Now, YouTube would be the ideal career, right? Like drive and build cars all day and race them and things like that. I would love to do this all day, but I can't. I have to still fund these things with normal money. And so that I'm in software a little bit. And so I do have a day job, and that's where I've really focused because I've wanted to build a certain lifestyle for myself and my fiance, and I'm working towards that, but it doesn't happen overnight and it takes a lot of focus. And so that is what I've been doing to try to get ahead. I live in California. It can be difficult to get ahead just by everything that's so expensive, but I'm doing pretty well for myself now, and we've got a little bit more time on the weekends and in the evenings and stuff. So I want to start bringing back the videos, and even if it's just simple talking with you guys. Let's grip up. We got NTO 1s now. Check this out. Dude, this transforms this car. The coilovers. I mean, we're ripping this turn. Oh my gosh, big bump. Gripped up. These tires, man. Transforms this car entirely. Oh yeah, where was I? I think I was saying something about like I have a little bit more time on my hands now to build out videos and cars. And speaking of building out cars, one of the things that I've been working on is a C6 drift car. I really fell in love with the C6 platform for drifting. Matt Field, there's a few others, Taylor Ray on YouTube, you know, Cletus has a bunch of Corvettes and that's kind of like his thing. So in the winter, I ended up picking one up for myself, and now I can finally talk about it. Right now, I have a C6 2007 Corvette that is getting transformed into a Japanese-inspired drift car. It's going to be wide-bodied, it's going to have coilovers, the angle kit, the crazy wrap and livery. I'll actually show you guys the final of like what it should look like by the render right here, but I have to put all of that content on the Driving Line YouTube channel because this is a partnership with Nitto Tires for the content. So that means I'm not at liberty to post all of the build on my channel quite yet, but once it does go fully live and it's rolled out, there will be drifting content on the channel, which is something I'm really excited about. On top of that, I've also been toying with the idea of a truck build. Now, you guys know I have the Bronco. My fiance has kind of overtaken the Bronco, which is fine. She loves that car. I like her being in it because it's nice and safe, it's nice and tall, but I do have the itch for a truck again, especially as we move into the next phase of life where we might want to look into a house, taking care of it, DIYing. You know, me, I can't leave anything stock, so even my house will be modified and, you know, renovated. So I'm gonna need a truck for that. The Bronco's great for off-roading and camping and things like that, but not the best when it comes to truck stuff, which is throwing wood in the back, throwing tools in there, doing home improvement, and just carrying larger loads. Now, the Bronco can tow-ish. It's got 4,000 pounds of towing capacity. However, that really isn't enough. Now, I want to start taking this car and the Corvette to the track. And to do that, you've got to have a tow rig and a trailer. So those are also things that are on my radar that I'm looking at picking up and bringing onto the channel. Now, the whole point of this video and the way I started this is, all right, I've had this car for 6 years now. It's a 2013. It's over 11 years old from manufacturing. Would I still buy one today? And this is a great road to bring this up because this is the worst road in Sacramento. which is one of its quirks are, it's not that comfortable once you start modifying it. But would I still buy it? Yes. The reason for that is because it is an experience every time I hop in this car. It gives me a certain feeling. This isn't my only car. Now, if this is your only car, it may not be the best choice for just one and done. There's probably something that helps blend the gap a little bit better, or merge that gap, bridge the gap a little bit better for comfort. But this is dead reliable. You don't have to worry about it. It's quick, it's fun, gives you all the nice feels. But yeah, it is not necessarily the most comfortable once you start getting this crazy with it, with a twin disc clutch and all that stuff. Let's break it down into reliability, styling, does it look aged, and then also just fun factor, right? Sometimes you just buy cars because they're fun, and these are getting cheaper and cheaper. I just saw one on Facebook Marketplace for like $15,000, which blows my mind. Reliability. What are the quirks of this car's reliability? One, it's the clutch. The MT82 and the clutch, you gotta change it out. You don't have to go crazy like this. I put, a crazy heavy clutch in it with twin disc capabilities, 1,000 torque, but you don't have to do that. Just go get an Exity, go get something that's single disc. It's not crazy heavy or anything like that for reliability, and you'll just be cruising along there. Other than that, the 5.0 takes a beating. Like, it is in a bunch of work trucks throughout the F-150. There's a different intake on those F-150s, but other than that, they're pretty much the same trucks. And the great thing about that is all of those parts are somewhat interchangeable too. So if you ever had to, you could swap in a truck motor, change a few things, and get a whole new engine. But you don't have to do that, because most of the time F-150s and 5.0s are very reliable on their own, as long as you're not going crazy and throwing like a giant single turbo on them or something like that. So as far as reliability goes, these cars are dead reliable. It's just the consumables that any car goes through, like brake pads, tires, whatever, right? Wear and tear stuff. Other than that, super solid. You can feel, as long as it's not making noises and making a bunch of crappy sounds throughout the transmission, you can feel good that whatever you buy is going to be pretty solid. Now let's get into styling, because this is the thing that is very personal taste. The biggest change with the 1314, whenever they came out with the new 5.0, was that the 1314's got updated LED headlights and taillights, as well as a full body colored matched bumper and rear bumper and side skirt. Huge difference. This, I think, blends retro and modern styling perfectly. The biggest thing for me was having that big quad tip rear diffuser from the GT500. Adds so much aggressiveness to the rear end of this car. Also the front end, if you do a GT500 swap like I have, also adds a lot to this car. So just know that you will have to do some mods to make it look like mine. However, they're pretty accessible these days, and almost everyone has it. So you might buy one that already does it or already has it on there. The interior is the same from 10 to 14, but we did put in a Dynavan CarPlay, and this also has a backup camera that I wired in. This was actually, it kind of went viral and had a moment. But this Dynavan has been awesome, as you may not be able to see in camera, but I'm currently on my CarPlay. If I put it in reverse, it has a backup camera. Interior is all the same, but it still looks really good. I have a digital cluster from a GT Premium. I'm also, like I said, looking at CarPlay. These are same features that you would get in a modern car. Now the S650 is a different story. They went full, everything screen, everything LED, which is really cool. But this has that really nice retro feel. And if you didn't know, the gauge numbers and everything, the actual font on the cluster for a 1314, or really 10 through 14, is from a 69. So it kind of does this throwback, which is something that the new S650 does, is where you can change the digital cluster. You can have it for all like the Terminator and all this. Well, this one's actually built for that 69, which is pretty sick. Really, the long story short is, yes, I would still buy this car, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that it's the most comfortable car and it has all of the best technology. It is an experience though to drive it. And so the biggest thing here is it puts a smile on my face. It puts my butt in the seat and in the back of my seat. I feel all the gears. I feel the rawness. It feels sometimes like I'm in a wagon vehicle or an old wagon. It has a solid rear axle. Like those bumps, I've been in S550s on coilovers and they do ride smoother. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say solid rear axle's better than the independent rear. Like it has its better quirks and things like that for certain circumstances, but overall, IRS is probably a better suspension. Also, if we think about it, it's also why Ford went to IFS versus the Jeeps that are just right over there coming back from the Rubicon. The Jeeps have solid front and rear axles and it has terrible road manners, but they're great for rock crawling. How many Jeeps look like that and actually go to the Rubicon and rock crawl? Not that many. So for most of the time, it's not that superior. That's why Ford went with the IFS on the Bronco. Now this is a solid rear axle, like I said, and it's superior for drag racing. But most of the time, I'm not on a quarter-mile drag strip. I'm driving through the streets, I'm hitting, corners and stuff like that. And so for that, it isn't superior. So just know when you get in there, while we have this EcoBoost in front of us, that S550s probably are gonna ride smoother with the same mods like coilovers and stuff like that. However, you don't get all of the styling, you don't get everything else. So if that's a sacrifice you're willing to make after driving and feeling it, then the S197 1314 is probably right for you. The point of this video is really to talk about, am I still in love with the Mustang? I'm not gone because I don't love the Mustang or don't love making content. I've just been kind of setting that foundation for my future with my fiance and really focusing in on those things. But I still like making videos. I am making videos. You'll see a full build on the C6 coming soon. It won't be on my channel, but we'll talk about that. And you'll also see a lot of content driving that vehicle and building some other cars. So this is still my passion. It's still in my blood. However, I just wanted to knock the dust off the bottle, get some videos out for you guys, and start getting the wheels turning again, because it is a muscle. You got to work it out to film and think of videos, then film, then edit and upload. Like, it is a little bit of a muscle you have to work out and get stronger with. And so this is that. It's me getting back into that muscle and building it back up. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Subscribe if you guys aren't already. This was just really fun for me because talking with you guys is almost like a little bit of a therapy session where I can just stream of consciousness, fire it off. So thank you guys so much for tuning in on this. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then please comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time.